I got your sixth round of appropriations matchups. This bill is Department of the Interior, the Environment, and related agencies. As has been tradition, the Senate is saner than the House, which is still saner than the president's budget request. Let's unpack this bad boy, and it is pretty bad, though not the most terrible bill of the bunch. First, Title I, Department of the Interior. Of course, the president wants to cut it by a lot. He asked for a 30% cut or $11.7 billion total in appropriations. The House and the Senate both said, we're not doing all that. They met him about 30% of the way there. So the House said a 12% cut for $14.8 billion, and the Senate said an 11% cut for $15.1 billion. But both House and Senate did try to protect certain agencies within Title I. The National Park Service, the president was trying to cut by 37% down to just $2.1 billion. Both House and Senate got it to $3.1 and $3.3 billion respectively. And the president was also trying to cut Indian affairs, Indian education by about 34%. The House actually voted for an increase to these agencies by 15%. The Senate kept it at $3.9 billion, which is on parity with FY25. Title II, Environmental Protection Agency. Do I even need to spell it out? Of course, the president was like, let's just destroy it with a 55% cut. Both House and Senate said, we're not doing all that. The House met him about halfway with a hugely significant cut, down to $7 billion. The Senate said we're only going to cut it by about 6%. So they're at $8.6 billion for that agency. It was originally at $9.1 billion in FY25. Title III in this bill is related agencies. There's a bunch of them. I'm going to focus on two that I want to focus on for selfish reasons because this is actually my day job. Title III is related agencies, and I'm going to focus on two of them. There are a bunch of others for selfish reasons because this pertains to my day job. National Endowment for the Arts and National Endowment for the Humanities. The president, as he did in his first term, wants to eliminate both of these because he hates everything. The House said, we're not doing all that, but they did vote for a 35% cut to both agencies, bringing it down to $135 million each. Yes, these are tiny little agencies. They do barely any spending, but sure, let's cut them. The Senate, fortunately, was like, no, we're going to keep them at $207 million each, which is on parity with FY25. I will note again that we are pushing for the Senate version of this appropriations bill, which is much more bipartisan, much saner than what is happening on the other side of the Capitol building. Congress is on recess for the rest of this month, so we won't see any more bill texts coming out. So I'm going to wait for any more comparisons until the rest start to come out. But we still need to keep our eye out for developments when it comes to moving these bills forward through floor proceedings and such, because that's what's going to determine how close we get to a government shutdown at the end of September. This is going to be down to Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats. Stay tuned.